It says we're live, so I think you're good.
Oh, do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, sorry, we're having a few issues as normal, as usual. Wes just told me earlier that he thinks our team needs a technology intervention, and I couldn't agree more. But we're so glad that you're joining us tonight and that you've tuned into the team call. If you're new, welcome to the Team Fresh and Fit / Team Living Water / Team Bam Wet team call, and a lot of other teams as well that are developing. We're so glad that you chose to spend a little bit of time with us, and we hope that you will learn how to move your business forward with some really great tips that Renee and Melissa are going to share tonight. I'm going to hand it over to Miranda, and she's going to do some recognition, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Hey guys, hope everybody's having a great evening. I just have to tell you, this evening has been pure chaos for me, and it's sort of funny. I just have to paint this picture for you. My sister's 2-year-old twins are at my house trying to put their shoes on when my daughter's friend knocked at the front door. When she opened it, these 2 stray dogs tried to run in my house and have a fight with my dog. My 2 little girls are trying to separate the dog fight. Okay? So we get that kind of sorted out. We call the police over the stray dogs. In the meantime, I'm trying to get on another call for another team as their guest speaker. So it's been crazy. And now we've got our team call going, and there's no audio for Melissa, so she's working on a few things. And Renee can hear Brandy and I. No, we can hear her, but she can't hear us. So, yeah, Wes, you're right. We need a technology intervention. All right, I have a couple of things to share with you. First of all, I just got off of a call with another team, and their team is led by someone I met on stage at Summit in 2013 as we were being recognized as One-Star Diamonds. Her name is Tammy, and she's precious. She's from Arizona. And we've kind of bounced ideas off of each other here and there through the last couple of years. But I talked to her team tonight about expanding the market and recruiting. And it's just the basic stuff our team has been doing for a while now. And at the end of the call, they were asking a ton of questions, which is great. But y'all, it made me so proud of our team and all the things that you guys are learning and doing. You are just like leaps and bounds ahead of what these other coaches were asking and talking about. And some of these people are diamonds, and she's got one-star qualifying, and so they're not novices. But I want you guys to know how proud I am of you for what you're doing. We do have some awesome recognition tonight for volume this past week. So in the 200 Club, we have Linda Watkins, Lainey Aiden, Samantha Herney, Pamela Benton, Cindy Switzer, Kristen Smith, Rebecca Graham, Lizzie Scalia. And then in the 300 Club, all by herself, is Michelle Yost, or Yost, I'm not sure. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. In the 400 Club is Heather Smith. 500 Club is Jennifer Allen. 1000 Club is Melissa Laman and Brandy Trammell, who just killed it this past week. I mean, just insane to have volume of over 1,000. Brandy's was actually over 1,500. So that's just like, it's absolutely incredible. And I hope you guys all saw on Facebook today where I gave some very well-deserved shout-outs to you guys for Success Club in February. I did a video on it the other day. I hope you guys saw it. But again, February 16th, our team had 130 points, Success Club points together, 5 levels down, okay? I challenge you guys to double that and hit 260. And the last week of February, I was telling you guys daily updates like, we're at this number, keep going, you can do it. We hit 260 with 4 days left in the month. And you guys exploded those last 4 days. We jumped from 260 to 332 points. It blew me away. So again, I cannot even tell you how amazed I am. And what it tells me is that when we set the bar high, we excel. And when we unite as a team for a common goal, we cheer each other on. And it just made me fall in love with this team all over again. The amazing work ethic, the passion, the excitement you guys have about adding people to your team is just phenomenal. So reach around and give yourself a pat on the back because you made me very proud. And you challenged me because I set a goal for myself to have the top success club points on the team, not to be competitive, but because I wanted to hold myself to a higher standard than what you guys were doing. And so you pushed me. Like I was like, oh man, I gotta get some more points. I didn't want to ask you to do something that I wasn't willing to do as well. So thank you for helping me have record success club points myself. So awesome. February was just awesome. So proud of you guys. Um, we are going to see if we can have Renee. I see two versions of Renee, one by phone and one by Ooh, Renee, that's not going to work because it's like echoing back and forth. So you'll have to turn audio off on one or the other. But I can hear something from you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
You can. Okay. I'm sending her a message in chat.
I can't hear you, Miranda. Can you hear me?
Yeah. But Renee's
Okay. Okay. So I was just going to talk a little bit about the way I do things. And I'm very busy. Of course, I'm gone all day, every day. And so I very rarely take my paperwork with me. I work a lot of my business actually out of the house. I do some in the house at night, but a lot out of the house. So I do have all my paperwork that I use. You can see it, activity trackers, and I have the customer trackers and all that. But the way I do things is I come back maybe 2 or 3 days later and actually write it down on the paper. I don't tally it up on the paper every day since I'm not with my paperwork. If I tried to do it every day, I would drive myself crazy. So the way I do it is I actually keep, and I'm going to try to show you this, I have a calendar on my phone that I keep, and I don't know if y'all can see that, probably not because of the glare, but it's just an iPhone calendar. I share it with my whole family. Everyone in the family has their own colors, so it's all color coded. I literally schedule my day from the moment I get up to the time I go to bed. I mean, everything is scheduled from my Bible study to my workout to when I plan my meals to when we go grocery shopping. If I have to run an errand, all that is scheduled. My kids are, all their schedules in there, so I know when I have time to do things. If I'm sitting at dance for 3 hours, I know I can do some stuff there, so I can keep it all straight. I also, I've tried the Google Drive spreadsheets and such because I usually do have my computer with me. It's just hard for me to keep up with. It's not much different for me than carrying a piece of paper. It's just easier because I always have my phone with me to use that, so that's just easier for me to use. I also have a to-do list on my phone that, sorry, that was my phone going off actually. I actually have a to-do list on my phone that actually sets alarms. So if I need to remind myself to follow up with people, so if I'm working with a customer and they want to, they say they do want a challenge pack but they can't afford it till payday, which is the 9th of the month, I actually put in my to-do list to follow up with them on the 9th of the month. So then I don't forget about them. That's just easier for me to keep up with it. So when I'm going through my to-do list, it'll say follow up with so-and-so. All my follow-ups are usually Facebook. If I keep up with them a different way, whether it's text or email, I make a note of that so I know how to contact them to try to get the quickest response back. I also do that with my customer leads. When I email them and text them every week. Up to 4 times, and then if I don't get a response then I just kind of leave it open and say, well, I'm here for you if you're ready to start. You can always get back to me. But I do try both outlets as far as email and text, and I also try to get them into my Facebook group so I can have them in an accountability group, so that's easier for me to do it that way. I also schedule my posts because, again, it's hard for me to sit down at 3 o'clock and post something every day, so I schedule them. I actually do most of that through my like page. I use Hootsuite a little bit, but if for some reason it's just easier for me to do the like page. And then if I have time on my personal page, I actually sit down and post on that. But I schedule on my like page. As far as my home stuff, I actually have, I don't know if you can see, I have a filing system, and it's marked 1 through 31, so it's 31 days, and then I have every month. So when I get something in that has a piece of paper, whether it's a bill or it's something I have to do for the kids, that has a deadline, whatever that deadline is, usually the day before or sometimes the week before if I have to mail it, I put it in that day. So if something's due March 9th, I'll put it in my filing cabinet for March 2nd, and then every morning I come in here, pull everything out that I have to do that day, and then that also goes in my calendar on my phone. So I actually have a 10-minute slot lined out for, sending an email to the college for my son, or setting that doctor's appointment for one of the girls, or a dentist appointment, or whatever it is that I have to do. That's not only in my phone to keep up with me to set an alarm, but then I also have it in my filing system. So if it has a piece of paper, I don't end up with stacks of paper. It actually has its own place. If I get something that's not done 3 or 4 months, like my son's taking SATs, I'll actually put it in the month. And then at the end of March, I'll actually go to my April and divvy that up throughout the days, so I know what I have to do every day in April. And then before I put it in its day, I actually put it in the phone, because otherwise I'll forget that it's even there if I don't look for it. Let's see. That's kind of more my short-term, month, day-to-day, month-to-month. If I have a long-term project that's going on, like my daughter just got married, so planning her wedding, I actually have a whole separate file for that, and then I'll still put that in my calendar every day or once a week or whatever. I'll block out an hour to work on that. Everything from cleaning out closets. I mean, once a year, sometimes twice a year, I try to clean out the closets. So I'll schedule 2 or 3 days a week, an hour a day to clean out closets. I've actually gotten so bad, sometimes I'll set a timer on my phone or something and for an hour. And so I know I stay on track, because otherwise I'll get lost in some of my projects and I'll be off track for the rest of the day. But so those are more my long-term projects that I can't just sit down and do real quick. Other than that, I think that's most of everything. I mean, I really just schedule. My day looks kind of crazy, but we have a family calendar, so my husband knows what the whole family's doing. I don't share all my personal stuff with him because it would drive him crazy if he knew, every hour when my power hour was or when I was working out or whatever. That's not on his calendar. So we have a family calendar that we share. I have everybody's calendars, so I know where everybody's at, because I'm usually the one running the kids or doing things. So I know if my kids are at dance again or wherever they're at, if I have an extra hour that I can go grocery shopping, I'll schedule my time there because I'm already in town. Or if I have errands I need to run, I'll schedule them then. Otherwise, I know I can work my BeachBody. If I'm sitting up there, for 3 hours watching them dance, I can sometimes work then as well. So I just literally schedule every minute of my day, and that seems to work easier for me. So I can't hear y'all, but if y'all have any questions, let me know.
Okay, so that was amazing. I wish she could hear me telling you guys how awesome that was. Let me tell you a little bit about Renee right quick, just so you know how incredible she is and why this whole system of scheduling and organization that she shared with you is something you all should pick up on. Renee became a coach in April of last year, and she was not even my coach. She signed up with one of my coaches because their husbands were friends. Well, that coach ended up quitting a couple of months later, and so Renee bumped up to me just by default. But we sort of knew each other. We had some mutual friends. So poor Renee was like the orphan coach, right? I mean, she got dumped, and she's just been incredible. From the first time she came to my office to sit down and talk to me, I could tell she was going to be amazing because she is so organized and so diligent. So she's a full-time veterinarian. Yes, a veterinarian. And just with all of that it involves. She's got a whole bunch of kids. She's got 4 children and a grandbaby. just planned her daughter's wedding, and in the midst of planning her daughter's wedding and executing on that wedding, she hit diamond. Yeah. She has 16 personally sponsored coaches and 20 total in her downline. But truth be told, her 2 emeralds are her husband and her son. So she built those emeralds. So she has 20 coaches total that she has recruited really within the last few months. So when she tells you these tips for staying organized with your kids and your bills and your life and your business, it's working for her. It's paying off for her in a big way. So if Renee can do this, if she can hit diamond with 4 kids, her daughter's wedding, working full-time as a veterinarian, and one of the vet techs quit recently, so she's had to pick up more hours. It's just crazy. And you'll see her on the weekends going off to like mud run events with her family, or she and her husband will go run a 5K. They'll take off to go skiing with the kids. They are very active and busy. So if she can hit diamonds, all of you can hit diamond. That's the main reason I wanted you to hear from Renee, because she is doing the little things each day. Did you hear her tell you guys that she texts or emails her leads 4 times a week? I'm ashamed of myself because I don't do that. I need to do that. Brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. So Renee, hopefully you can go back and listen to the recording of this and you can hear me praise you up one side and down the other. But for now, I just look like a mute moving my lips to her. She can't hear me. But thanks to Renee for sharing with us tonight. Melissa, can you hear me? You can hear me. I cannot hear you. Okay, Melissa's going to try to switch from her laptop to her phone. She had to download the Google Hangout app, and
that's going to be echoey.
Let me mute myself and see if that helps.
Try closing your computer, Melissa, and just use your phone.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. But
I've got them all turned off.
Randy, why don't you and I both mute ourselves and we'll see if that helps us. You guys give Melissa a second. She's going to try to get creative and figure out how she can make herself be heard by you guys. While she's doing that, I want to give you a couple of reminders. And thanks for being flexible with us tonight. We're going to let Wes Gilbert and Andrew Held take over our technology department and start running our calls, because obviously the 4 of us are a complete disaster. Don't forget, you've got a little more time left to get in on our Diamond Retreat. You've got until March the 11th to rank up to Diamond yourself, or to be chosen by your Diamond sponsor to attend based on whatever contest your coach has set forth. Most everybody's is that you have to be Emerald or Ruby, and you've got to have the most personally sponsored active coaches in your downline to get qualified to go to the Diamond Retreat with us. So be sure that you are fighting to get there. You need to be there. You want to be there. So do everything that you can to recruit like crazy here early in March. You've got BeachBody On Demand Challenge Pack that is hot, hot, hot and amazing. So be sure you're sharing that with people. It's $1,500 worth of programming in a challenge pack with Shakeology for $140. There's nobody that could offer that. I mean, it's incredible. So be sure that you're promoting that and sharing that. And as you're signing people up for that challenge pack, give them the free coach upgrade. For crying out loud, it's free. And they don't have to be a business coach. They can be a discount coach. No big deal. But it adds a coach to your team, helps you grow, and it'll get you to the Diamond Retreat. So recruit, 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 and you'll get to be there. Melissa, Try it again.
Can you hear me?
We can! Hallelujah! Praise the Lord. Okay.
Now I'm
Melissa,
like all out of sorts, but we'll try to do it anyway, right?
it's okay. Just take a deep breath. Brandy, would you give an intro for Melissa on some of her stats and activities recently?
Sure thing. Um, hopefully it won't echo, but Melissa, it's a funny story actually, and she's gonna laugh. If those of you who don't know, Melissa is my sister-in-law. She is my husband's sister, and our story started with me being on her about her diet Dr. Pepper all the time and telling her that it was going to give her a brain tumor. This was years ago, and she just rolled her eyes and whatever. But anyway, so when she became a coach, I had just kind of mentioned Shakeology a little bit. I was still a fairly new coach, and we talked about it when we were at my mother-in-law's house one weekend. And then so out of the blue one day, she calls me and says, "So I just signed up as a coach on your team. I don't want to do the business, so don't even talk to me about it, and just leave me alone. And I just want the Shakeology at a discount." And if you know Melissa, that's totally her. So I was like, okay, whatever you want. Because you also, if you know Melissa, you don't argue with her. So anyway, I just let her be, and she was in a full-time job in corporate America, and I knew she didn't love it, but she loved what she did, but she didn't love, being dependent on that job and having someone set her hours and being away from her beautiful daughter Riley. And so I knew she was unhappy with that, but I had no idea that several months later, I don't know how long it was after she was a coach, she would decide to do the business and to run with it and to see what she could make happen. And she has blown me away. I don't even know how many total coaches she has in her downline, but it is by far the biggest team in my entire downline, makes up a huge portion of our team volume every single week. And she just recruits like crazy. And she runs amazing challenge groups. Her Success Club points for, was it February, were like 22, or maybe it was January, I don't know, 22 Success Club points. I mean, that's crazy. And she just is so diligent and so organized, and she knows what she wants and she goes for it. She's a diamond coach now and is working with her team, developing them so well. And I know she's going to be a star diamond any day now. So I'm so excited to introduce my sister-in-law, diamond coach Melissa Laman.
Well, that was a great introduction. I wasn't expecting that. Yes, okay, you get credit for everything, Diet Coke, whatever, blah, blah. I hate giving you credit for that, too. You know that, right? But on that same note, I super love you, and I'm really thankful that you did. And I signed up as a coach in September of 2012 for the discount, and I did not start working the business until April of 2013. And that was because I was in corporate America. I couldn't stand it. I literally woke up every morning crying, did not want to go to work. So I asked my husband if I could quit, and that's a long story, but he let me, and I was given the summer to stay and hang out with Riley and play, and then I had to go back to work at the end of the summer. Well, at the end of the summer, I made a deal with him, and I was like, please let me give this a year, and if it doesn't work, then I'll go back to work. And he said, okay. That year came around, and I will never forget that day because I was looking at the calendar going, please don't let him know it's been a year, please, please, please. And he never said anything. And so now we're coming up on 2 years, and he has never said anything, and he's perfectly happy with the amount of income that I'm bringing in right now. I look today at the stats that I don't look at a whole lot, and if things continue to go this way, at least for the next year, he will never know that I quit that job that I'd had for 8 years. So that's the blessing that BeachBody has given me. Coming into that is organization and time management and things that I've learned to do. I knew how to do it in my old job. Project management is what I did. But when I first started working the business, I kind of just here and there, not very often, I played with it, I dabbled, I didn't get serious until November of 2013 when I was put in a training with somebody that not only scared the fire out of me, but I highly respected. And it was a boot camp, much like the one we're running now for our March boot camp. And in that, you had specific things that you had to do every day without fail. And what I noticed is when I was in that, or when I went back to that old training and did certain specific things every day without fail, then my income was double that month, as opposed to when I just kind of flighted around. So the past, I don't know, since we got back from Summit, really, I've started implementing that more and being very, very specific about my planner. And I'm the exact opposite of Renee. I do not want a calendar on my phone. I don't want my phone anywhere near me because I can't think. There's too many notifications and dings on it. So I have to write everything down. We're both super organized, but we do it exactly the opposite. This is the mom agenda. I know some people use the Erin Condren and some different planners. This one I love because I reverse engineer my entire year. I start with the big things throughout the year. You know you're going to have birthday parties. You know what day you're going to be on trips. And I literally line all that out in a calendar at the first of the year. And then, hold on, I just got some weird thing on my phone. I line all that out at the first of the year. And then I go back and I plan by month. And then after that, I go back and Jessica Heckle, quit texting me right now, really. I go back and I plan by week. She's texting me, I'm on my phone. So what I wanted to show you was that I literally, just like Renee, I time block everything in my day, except for I do it on paper. I have the times that Riley's at dance, the times that I'm going to be at the school, a time I'm going to do my Bible study, which is first thing in the morning, and everyone knows don't talk to me during that hour. I scheduled when I'm going to meal plan. I have schedules for when I'm going to do any other personal development, pay bills, taxes, whatever. There's a little section on this that I super like over here, and it's where you can put the priorities that you have for the week, but they're not like something that has to be timed out. It's just something I need to get done. Call and make a doctor's appointment or whatever. So it doesn't have to be a certain day, but it has to be sometime that week. What else? On Friday is when I plan out my week for the following week. I don't do it on Sunday. Sometimes everybody sits down on Sunday night and you're writing down your schedule for the week. I do it on Friday, and I'll tell you why. Because if it's done the last 30 minutes of the day on Friday, then I have all weekend that I don't have to worry about it all the way up till bedtime. So I can do whatever I want all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and I don't have to go at 5 o'clock Sunday, plan out my week. It's already planned. I get my whole weekend up until bedtime. And then I go to bed, and then the first thing Monday, I get up and I open this book. Now, there are certain times that I may forget something, not write it in there, and you'll see it. You've probably seen pictures of it. I start writing it on my hand, and I'll walk around. If it's on my hand, then it has to get done before the next time I go to the bathroom and wash my hands. And if it's on my arm, then that can stay there until my shower that night, and it's at least a reminder, so I go write it in this planner. Like I said, I just don't like the phone. So really quick, I went back to an old call that we did last year. It was like a 2-hour, 2-part call on time management. And there were some really cool things in there that I wanted to pull out super fast and just repeat because a lot of you probably haven't heard that call. One of the statistics, you have 168 hours in a week. If you work a full-time job and you work 50 hours a week and you sleep 56 hours a week, that's 8 hours a night, then that's still going to leave you 62 hours a week for the rest for you to do whatever it is you want to do, whether that's cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, your Beachbody business, or whatever. You have 62 hours left that week. So I like to break it down that way better than 24 hours in a day. Logging your time is one of the things that you need to do. What do you do now? So if you don't have a planner, start just writing down what you do and what times you do it, the things you know. Prioritize your list, anything that is a priority. So if you know that the kids have to go to the doctor, then that's a priority. If you know that you have no food in the refrigerator, then that's a priority. If you got enough to get you through the night, it may not be a priority. Write down when you're going to do your power hour that we always talk about. And one thing I tell a lot of people in my team, because they all have full-time jobs, is that power hour doesn't have to be an hour that you block out the entire time. It can be in 15-minute chunks. So if you've got 15 minutes in the morning to do your personal development, then do it then. If you have 15 minutes at lunch from your job to do your call-up backs for your customers or follow-up messages, then do that. If you have another 15 minutes in the evening and you want to check on your coaches, do it then. But make that power hour. It can, as long as it's an hour, it doesn't have to be a full hour here. You can break it up in chunks throughout the day if that helps you. Get a planner. If you don't want a planner, then use your phone. But you have to have one, and you need to write the stuff down. And you need to make your schedule, and you need to tell people no. If that schedule's full, and everybody, because I volunteer tons at the school, if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, can you go do this? The first thing I do is let me look at my planner, and I say no. Don't overextend yourself, and don't be scared to say no. Let's see. That's it, really. Oh, no, it's not. One more thing. We do this because we want to spend extra time with our kids. Y'all have got to plan your time with your kids, and you've got to stick to that, especially if you are stay-at-home moms, because I've noticed it's kind of different. Because this is what we do, and we do it from the house all day. It's really easy to get caught up in, okay, while you're cooking dinner, go and write this note, or while you're doing that. And then it kind of becomes where it's an all-day thing. So I'm real specific about from 3:30 to 4:30, it's only Riley, and I put my phone somewhere else, and I don't talk to anybody, whether it's homework, playing, or whatever. I do dinner, and then again from 7 to 8, it's whatever she wants to do. And I really make time for your kids, but schedule that time in there so that's an everyday thing. And I think that means a lot. And then you can do more when they go to bed if you want. But I had noticed that I got kind of bogged down in doing things, even though I was supposed to be paying attention to her, like maybe playing and texting or answering a message. Just turn it off, shut it down. Nothing important happens after 10 o'clock on Facebook. So get off of it. The only people on Facebook after 10 o'clock are probably BeachBody coaches anyway. Go to bed and then get up early at 5. No kidding. All right, y'all have a good night. Thanks.
That was awesome. Thank you, Melissa. I love how we got like 2 totally different perspectives on organization and time management. But I think the magic sauce here, the unifying factor, is consistency. So whatever system you prefer, whether it's a paper calendar, mom agenda like I have that's like Melissa's, or if you prefer to use your phone and have, notebook system or something like that, like Renee's doing, it just depends on your style. But whatever you use it consistently and have a system. I have often told you guys how disorganized I am, and it's because I'm a perfectionist that I don't think I'm organized enough. But I'm trying to do better about praising myself. I can praise others fine, but I struggle with it for myself. So I'm just going to show you right quick some of the things that I have that keep me organized. I showed you my mom agenda. I use that for my kids and my life with a little bit of business sprinkled in there as far as like time chunks go. But when I sit down during that time space to work my Beachbody business, I follow the business activity tracker, and that really keeps me from getting distracted or chasing squirrels, because if you're on the internet, there are distractions at every turn. If you've got your phone sitting beside you and it's vibrating with notifications like crazy while you're trying to focus on, follow-up messages, and you've got 5 tabs open and you can hear emails dinging, Facebook messages dinging, your stock market alerts, I don't know, whatever kind of notifications you get, you've got all that going on, you are going to get distracted. So use the little feature on your phone where you can completely turn it on silent and put it face down so you don't see the screen light up every time something's going on. And focus. Follow the business activity tracker, even if you don't like it. I hated it for 2.5 years, and I finally started using it, and now I love it because it holds me accountable and it keeps me focused. So I use that. I use this particular notebook for recruiting, and I wanted to share this with you guys real quick. It's kind of irrelevant from tonight's call, but sort of not because it's organization. But last month, I recruited 19 coaches in 30 days, following some recruiting techniques that we'll be teaching you guys in different training groups. But I encourage you to do this. Inside the front cover, I made a list of 20 people, and I've underlined the ones that I've signed as coaches already. So I've already had 4 say yes and sign up this month. But I have specific names down this list. There's 20 of them. So I aim to recruit 20 people in March as well, to try to keep up that momentum through the year. And if somebody says no, and there's no way they're going to change their mind, I'll erase their name and then come over here to my contact list and pull a fresh name off my list and put it in that spot. So it's one thing to write a blank space and just hope somebody will jump in there and fill it. It's a whole other thing to put a name there and start visualizing that person on your team. So that's an organizational tactic that is working really well for me, and I use tally marks when I get a coach. So I get to tally mark, and when I get to 5, I get to cross it all the way across, and it just feels good to check off their name, underline their name, and tally mark it. It's very rewarding for me to mark it as done. Another tool that I use for organization and consistency is this calendar. So I showed you my mom agenda. That's more my personal life with business time blocked out. But this is our team calendar on paper. Because I'm a paper pencil kind of person. If it's on my phone, it's like it's in a black hole somewhere, and I may never find it again. So I'm visual, so I got to have it on paper. So I have our team, all of our business opportunity webinars, coach open house, reminders to myself of stuff I want to be sure and do that month, trainings, challenge groups, Transformation Tuesday, like everything is on this, and it's big. It's right behind my laptop. I see it every time I come in my office, and it helps me know what to focus on that day and that week. So it's sort of like Renee's system with the notebook that she uses for bills and stuff. Okay, this is another notebook that I use for tracking my challenge groups, my customer contacts, my leads. I have everything in this particular notebook. If having a notebook system appeals to you, there is a video and a conference call that are recorded that you can have access to so that you can put together a coach notebook to track your business and a customer notebook to track your challenge groups and your contact list. A lot of you that were in our Break Your Rank group have access to the recruiting campaign materials. So for me, I've got stuff in 3 different notebooks and 2 different calendars, and it works for me. It's holding me accountable. And I know Brandy uses the notebook systems as well, and she uses the Erin Condren planner, and she can talk to you about that too if she wants to throw in some more tips. But the most important thing is to be conscientious that this is a business. You are the CEO of your own company, and this is a $1 million company. Lots of millionaires in our business, and Lindsay Matway has set it out there that she's going to be a billionaire. That's her next goal. She's very generous in supporting her church, so it's not about greed for her. It's just about seeing what barriers can be broken and how many more people can she help to build a business on her team. So the potential is out there for every single one of you to have $1 million business, at least a very substantial 6-figure business, which I'm well on my way to that this year. And a lot of you are just right there behind me. So you need to treat it with consistency, organization. You need to take a serious approach to doing something to keep things in order. And it is really hard. I'm sure it's hard when you're working full-time like Renee is to juggle kids and work and BeachBody business. I find it very hard, like Melissa said, to be at home doing this because you can easily do it 24/7. You easily can be on your phone. Oh my gosh, challenge pack, gotta sign up the coach. Like, you could be that person, and I am sometimes, and I have to go, put the phone down. Enough. Stop. So I find it hard to be at home with all this open-ended time, and I could easily get caught up and just mired in Facebook. So my notebooks and my calendars keep me from working too much. if that makes sense. So those are some things that work well for me. Brandy, do you have anything to throw in? I know it's kind of on the spot. Can you think of anything that you do that would be helpful for everybody to know?
I would just add, I know we have a lot of brand new coaches, and when I was getting started, and really for the first almost 2 years of being a coach, I didn't really have a system that I followed, and I wasn't super diligent about using a calendar or a planner. Last year was the first year, I think, in my entire life I have kept a planner the entire year. I was that girl in college and high school. I would buy the cute little planner, use it for a few weeks, and then it didn't happen. That's not how my brain works. So it's been a discipline for me to make sure that I'm doing that and tracking it. But I will tell you, if I wasn't doing those things, my business would have stalled out a long time ago. You have to find what works for you. I love the Erin Condren planner. It makes me excited to write things in my planner. I'm definitely a pen and paper kind of girl. I'll just give you a little glimpse. This is my Erin Condren planner right here, and you can see inside, I use lots of colors, but it's got different breakdowns for morning, day, and evening, and then it's got little note sections and stuff. It's what works for me. It's what I love. The notebook system has been absolutely critical because, and you may already be seeing this as a newer coach, when you're talking to people and you're going through the 5-step process, if you're not tracking them with the business activity tracker, with the contact list, you're going to let people fall through the cracks because you probably, like I did for so long, are scrolling through dozens of Facebook messages trying to figure out who you talk to, what you talk to them about, and what you need to send to them next. And that is not efficient, and you're going to waste a lot of time by doing it that way. So if you can stay on track with the organizational skills, even if it's not natural to you, it's not natural to me, you will be so grateful that you have implemented that discipline in your life. So I just encourage you to find what works for you and know that it is necessary. Like Miranda said, this is a business. You may not quite see it like that yet. If you're new, you may not really understand the full possibility that's before you, but this is a business, and if you will treat it like a business, you will be amazed at where you are in 6 months to a year from now. So get a plan, find what works for you, stick to a system, and we'll pass down anything to you that's helpful. So I hope that you guys got a lot out of this call tonight. I know I did.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for sharing your best tips and best practices. I love doing calls where I'm not the only one talking because I get tired of hearing myself. And I love getting tips from other coaches on our team. So I'm going to just throw this out there. I would love for those of you that have found some things that are working for you, and I don't care how new you are, if your big victory was that you posted your results pic for the first time, and you got a great feedback of encouragement from that, and it's brought you a lot of new traffic through your challenge group or whatever, if you have found something that works for you, I would love for you to share it on our team page. Just post when you've had a victory, when you've got something to celebrate, when something has gone right. Too many times we only come and post in that team page when we have a problem or a question or a frustration. And I would like for us to turn that habit around a little bit and start sharing with each other what's working for you. If you're a new coach, do not think that your little victory is little. Every victory is huge, and there may be another coach in the group that's struggling that needs to hear exactly what you have to say. You know, when I give some advice, a new coach might say, well, that's easy for her to say. She's 3-star qualifying, and she's been doing this forever. But if you say it as a new coach, they feel like it's relatable. So let's get in the habit together as a team of sharing our best practices more often with each other. And, you know, it's just going to be continually exciting to see because the growth in our team is astronomical. In the last 10 weeks, we have added almost 200 coaches to this team. It's just blowing my mind. This week alone, we have 30 new people, and it's growing by leaps and bounds, quicker and faster. So we need to be sharing with one another what's going on. Team Gypsy with Jennifer Allen and Kayla Doss, you guys are growing like crazy, and your new coaches are hitting Emerald fast. So we need you guys to share with the rest of us, what you're doing. Renee and Melissa, so fantastic at organization and time management. I wanted to have them on to share that with you. So if you've got some good stuff going, share. Katie Gilbert hit Ruby today, and she'll likely be Diamond by the time she wakes up in the morning, because that's how quick of a jump it is from Ruby to Diamond. So Katie, Wes, you guys need to share with us what you're doing that's working well for you to grow your team. Let's get a culture of sharing and letting each other in on our best tips and practices so that we can all learn from one another. Great call tonight. Thank you guys for being on. It was recorded, so Brandy will be able to share the recording link with you guys, the same link as the one you got on this call for. So if you've got some people on your team that missed it, or perhaps you only got in on the last half, you can go back and listen and hang on to this one, because there's some good tips in here. You guys have a good night, and hope to see a ton of you at our Diamond Retreat on March the 20th, because you end up qualifying this coming week. If you guys need any help, if you're struggling, frustrated, stuck, whatever, please reach out to somebody and ask for help. There is no need for you to be struggling alone. We're all here to help you. So good night, everybody. Have an awesome evening. We'll see you next week, same place.